Good morning, you wonderful humans. We are back at it again. This is day 29 and our free bodyweight exercise instructional workout program. My name is Seth Spicer, and this is Connected Community Health Support, and this is our free exercise stream. Again, day 29. This should be your second day this week of doing this program. Thank you so much again if you're seeing this and following along. I think the program just keeps getting better. I think it's more engaging. I think it's more motivating, more precise. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much. And I hope you will enjoy another session. If this is your first time and you're just tuning in today, well, welcome. I think you're in for a treat. We have 8 exercises with 3 sets of those exercises performed in circuit fashion, 35 seconds of work, 25 seconds of rest, done twice. We are on the phase where we do the workout 3 times a week, and we do it for about 60 minutes each session. And again, as the program progresses, we'll get more and more intense, increasing the volume, increasing the duration, increasing the frequency of the workout to help you reach your health and fitness goals, to get you to a point where we're doing aerobic, burning fat-specific exercises such that you can really start to make some progress on your goals and burn fat primarily. So with that said, please talk to a physician before beginning any exercise program. We've done everything we could to make sure that this is inclusive and is accessible for absolutely everybody, regardless of your background, regardless of your weight, regardless of anything. We hope that you'll be able to engage and enjoy in this workout. All right. We're going to start with a warm-up, get into the first session, take a few minutes, get in the second session, and then cool down. We'll have a quote of the day in there somewhere. And at the end, we'll have, of course, as always, our little tidbit of goodness, all right, to keep you there to the end, to keep you waiting, to keep you hoping to see what we have in store. All right. With that said, let's get started to our warm-up. The chat is on. The screen is full. The coffee is warm. And my water is ready. All right. Whoop. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, per usual, we're going to start bottom up with our warm-up. Again, the purpose of a warm-up are many. Basically, we're going to make sure that you're not creaky, cranking. We're going to try and prevent injury with these ones. All right, to start, do a couple seconds, just roll the ankles. Work either side. All right, other side, forward, back. Stretch out the ankle, forward, stretch out the ankle, forward. Little side-to-side action. Supination and pronation, technically. And then roll them around town as well. Again, at any point, feel free to hold on to something, right? We're not like the Leaning Tower of Pisa here and just waiting to go down. No, we want support. Feel free to hold on to something as we go through this program. All right. Next up, let's do some hacky sack skips. Internal and external rotation. Always good to get the hips warmed up a little bit. Other side. Hold it at the top for a second. All right. And now we're going to sort of step over some stuff. Bring it around. I'm just going one direction today. You can do open and close the gates if that is what you prefer. As always, exercise is about what you enjoy. Now I'm going backwards. All right. And other side, over and down. We're just cycling our hips in this one. Forward cycles. Instead of doing the open to close the gate, we're just cycling. Now we're going backwards. Again, hold on to anything you have. Maybe a life partner, small children, sense of self. You know, the usual things that we hold on to in the mornings. Next up, we have our T-spine rotations. Both hands together, pushing them forward. Hips facing forward. breathe in, breathe out, rotate towards the back. Of course, looking at your fingertips, breathe in, breathe out. And repeat that on each side. Sometimes get a little crack in there. All right. Crank up them shoulders a little bit today. Get it going. The shoulder circles. It's really rainy here today. No sun coming in through the windows. Shoulder circles, other direction. Full range of motion. Found the fan. At least we have one. Full range of motion. All right. And now, of course, we're going to come back down for our neck circles, for usual. You don't have to be sitting, but I like to be a little closer. Pick a direction. Nice and slow. If you are new to exercise, if you don't feel comfortable in the gym, if you don't have the time to drive to the gym, don't have the money for the gym, this program is for you, which happens to be about 85% of Americans, fun fact. All right, switch directions if you haven't already. If this is poor timing for you, and you ever can't make it, remember we do sessions at noon and 5:30 Eastern time as well. And of course, that is with Jacob Carroll and Adam Fox. All right. And without further ado, we're about to begin the actual workout portion. The routine is right here. All right. So if you ever need it, it's right there. Feel free to check it out if you lose track. I'll try my best to keep an eye on it and follow it along as well. Just going to really quick exit full screen and come back. All right, and we are good to go. All right, with that said, we are starting with floor touches or glute bridges in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready, begin. I'm starting with floor touches. Again, nice and slow to start. We're just doing a hinge motion where we push the butt back. Hands drag down your hips to a nice flat back position. Slight bend in the knees. As if you're about to take the kid who left the Legos out again and launch him into the stratosphere. I'm kidding, that's terrible. And time. All right. Next exercise, numero dos. We have our I's, Y's, and T's. Again, if this is your first time, you know what to expect. You know this is completely body weight. But if you're just joining, you'll never be required to have any equipment at all. We're just starting. Feel free to follow along. I's, Y's, and T's. Forearms on your knees. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Ready, begin. An I out in front. A Y out to the side. A T out to the side. All right, if you need to put one forearm on a thigh, you absolutely may for the I, Y, and T. I, Y, and T. Try to keep the core tight or suck the belly in. That'll help you stabilize your core a little bit as you go through this exercise. 3, 2, 1, and time with that one. There it is. Good morning, happy face. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope your Tuesday was fantastic. All right. The next exercise we have are the Flappy Birds. Oh, my personal favorite. Again, this simulates our overhead press. We're just doing a lateral raise, starting in 3, 2, 1. Ready. Begin. Lateral raise, lateral raise. All right. Again, feel free to gauge the intensity to what feels great for you. Myself, I go to a nice moderate teaching pace. If you want to take something, add weights you have around the house, maybe go super, super fast, then I don't want to be your friend because you're crazy. No, I'm just kidding. That's good for you. Do the exercise at the intensity that's good for you. That's what it's designed to be able to do. All right. And time. We're on to our rest. On to our rest. Again, you can watch our whole playlist on YouTube. My name is Seth Spicer. We also have Adam Fox and Jacob Carroll. Feel free to go through, check us out from day one if this is too intense for you. Again, the program gets harder as you go along. We're throwing some punches. Straight up punches. 3, 2, 1. Hands up and begin. Just jabs. Throwing punches together. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 35 seconds. What are you going to do? We'll speed bag it. Oh, we should do a speed bag in here one of these times. Pick it up a little bit. 10 seconds left. Keep the hands high. Block the oncoming punches. Have some fun with it. Watch out for loved ones. And time. Yeah, I used to have a roommate before we introduced these exercises. I don't anymore. Next up, next up, we have another fantastic high muscle recruiting exercise. We have our squats. 3, 2, 1, ready, begin. Squatting down, standing up. Sit in the chair, stand up. I heard there's a thing called lurkers. And I heard that lurkers are people who watch my captions or just hang out but don't commit to the view. And I'm telling you, if you stick around for a bit, it's a good view. So hop in. Don't lurk. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to charge you. And time. After our squat pattern, we go back to our push and pull. Of course, after our squats are our horizontal pushes. Those are our push-ups. Push-ups, you can be on the couch. As always, you do them from the wall. This time I'm going from my knees. All right. 3, 2, 1. Ready, begin. Keep the core tight. Going through the full range of motion, through full time. Keep breathing. Try and keep the hips tucked up underneath you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, I'm all recovered. Just took a quick wheeze. All right. And next exercise we have, of course, I'm going to adjust this just a little bit as I slowly walk towards you. Bada boom. We have our floor slides. You do the floor slides or the shoulder pushbacks. I'm doing the shoulder pushbacks. Ready, begin. Here, do a quick one overhead and back. Swing overhead, hold at the top. Here and back, here and back. Specifically thinking about activating your triceps by extending your elbow, straightening out your arm. And of course, lats by pushing your whole arm higher into the air. All right. 3, 2, 1, and time. All right. I like this view a little bit better. I don't have to be so close anymore. Mountain climbers or from the wall. The progression goes marching, If that feels too easy, march from the wall. Or if you're a pro like me, do it from the floor. Starting in 3, 2, 1, up, and begin. Just driving the knees forward, stabilizing your weight on your wrists. Curl your fingers into the floor as if you're squeezing something. And that should help stabilize your wrist. I learned that in a yoga class once. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. And believe it or not, that is the end of round numero uno. Grab some water quick. Going on a nice run hike today. I'm very excited. Going to a new place. All right, 10 seconds. Find your positions. We're back to the top. This time, going with a glute bridge. 3, 2, 1, begin. With the glute bridge, it's still a hinge pattern and working the glutes. Also the posterior chain. This way is a little more directly resisted to gravity than the hip lifts. Then the floor touches. But either or, get the job done. And time. Whichever you prefer. I'm no longer in a constant state of doing squats because I'm no longer squatting. I'm back home. If you noticed, feels good, man. Not gonna lie, to have my home set up here. Next up, I's, Y's, and T's. Forearms on the thighs. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. Reach the hands out in front. Reach the hands up to 45. Reach the hands out to 90 at the side. If you're just joining, thank you very much. Good to see you here. My name is Seth Spicer. This is the CCHS live exercise instructional stream. All you have to do is show up at 7:30, and I'll walk you through an entire workout 3 times a week. And then myself, I have 2 partners. And time with that exercise, we go live at noon and 5:30 in addition to our 7:30 a.m. Eastern stream. All right. The next bodyweight exercise after our I's, Y's, and T's are our Flappy birds. Wonderful. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Just a nice lateral raise to burn some fat. Get those shoulders working this morning. All right. Again, we have a little intermission where if you need to go, you can dip out and go to work between the 2 30-minute sessions. Or if you want to stay the full time, that's the hope. Just the same, if you want to hop in and get the full workout, do 1 full session, well, technically a half session, but 1 30-minute session, absolutely may. 3, 2, 1, time. You absolutely may join in when we restart here in about 5 to 10 minutes. All right. We're about halfway through the second set right now. We do 3 sets. Next up, we have our punches. It sounds just like what you think it is. A punch is Mayweather style. Hips shoulder width apart. Firm. Hands high. We're throwing jabs. Ready. Begin. Punch and punch. And punch. And punch, 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 punch. I'm gonna eat a big lunch. Protein packed. I'm going to munch. All right. Again, self-guided intensity. You should be able to hold a conversation the entire time. Really get some power behind them. Get some speed. 3, 2, 1, time. Fan-diddly-tastic. After punches, which is our core number 1, we have squats. Always have to have a squat pattern in your workout. If you don't, you're doing something wrong, because every day is leg day here at CCHS. Squats, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready, begin. It's just like you're sitting in a chair. Go as low as you feel comfortable and stand back up. If you want to go crazy, you absolutely may do jump squats. That's not for me, because if you go for 60 minutes, jump squats might be a little much. If you're here for one session, hell, maybe give it a try. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more, and time. Wonderful. Here at the break, we'll give the quote of the day. At the end of the session, we'll give our little tidbit of goodness, some life advice for behavioral change or lifestyle modification. I think those are my favorite and most valuable little tidbits of all of this, for sure. Push-ups from the floor, from the wall, or the couch. I'm doing them from the wall. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Ready, begin. Keep the core tight. Go through the full range of motion. Again, the purpose of going from the wall is so that you can get a nice full range of motion as we get stronger by going through this program. Still keep the core tight. The lower down the wall you go, the harder it becomes. One more, and time with the push-ups. We love a good push-up. We love a good push-up variation from the wall as well, of course. Next up, we are doing floor slides together or shoulder extensions. It's hard for me to do the floor slides on the carpet, so if you've been here before, go ahead and start those. Or join me with the shoulder extensions in 3, 2, 1, begin. Just pushing back, hold it and down. Push back, hold it and down. These are working our post delts. These are working our lats. And if we extend the elbows in particular, we're getting a little bit of tricep action at the top. All right, keep it working. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're flying away. All right. If you're just joining, thank you very much. Feel free, if you can't make the full workout, to follow us at Connected CHS or on whichever platform you're on. Also, feel free to hop in Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7:30 a.m. for my session, noon or 5:30 p.m. for Jake and Adam on Twitch or Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Next up, we have mountain climbers from the wall, marching, or from the floor. I'm going to do the marching variation. Ready, set, begin. This is a normal mountain climber. This is the marching variation. Join me for either one. Just getting the knees up high. Again, we always provide variation to make sure that you, your grandmother, and your obese, super heavy dog can all do this. Yes, I know about Sparky. 3, 2, 1, and time. Nice. That's the end of set number 2 already. Time flies when you're having fun. Am I right, kids? Next up, pretend I didn't say that either. Next up, from the top, we have floor touches or glute bridges. This is exercise number 1. Again, set number 3. I did glute bridges last time. I'm going back to the standing floor touches in 3, 2, 1, begin. Here, reach down to the floor, stand up. Real simple task. Touch the floor in between your feet. Don't overthink it. If you want more cues, or if it doesn't feel good, bend the knees a little more and push the butt back. All right. If you want an absurd amount of notifications about when we go live, which can act as a nice reminder to live healthily, feel free to follow or subscribe. And time. Of course, it depends on which channel you're on, but next up, again, we have our bent over I's, Y's, and T's. Our I's, Y's, and T's work our back muscles almost in every direction. So we're getting some upper trap, we're getting some rhomboid, we're getting some post toe, we're getting a bunch of muscles. It doesn't matter what, just know our back is getting swole. All right, 3, 2, 1, forearms on thighs, ready, begin. If you're just joining, I say forearms on thighs because that is a nice stable position that a lot of our exercises start from. It's a good position that transfers for just day-to-day health, right? If you're stable in this position, you can do a lot of reaching, grabbing, floor picking up. Keep the core tight in this position to support your low back. And if you need, you can always do one arm at a time. All right, and time with that exercise. Wunderbar. Doing great. Is that 4 people? Holy moly. Thank you all so much for joining. Hang tight with me. We're going to restart the whole 3 rounds here in about 5 minutes, or catch us on replay, or catch the whole playlist from day 1 on YouTube. My name is Seth Spicer. 5 seconds. We're starting our Flappy Birds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready, begin. And we're here. All right. Just flying away. It's pretty casual. This shirt gets really wide when I do this. I think somebody cut the armpits a little too low, so don't mind that I turn into an actual rectangle when I do that. I aim to be more triangular, but I will settle for a rectangle. It's just 2 triangles if you cut it diagonally. 3, 2, 1, and time. Next up, we're throwing some jabs together. I'm going to try it from the knees today. I'm trying this one from my knees. We'll see how it works. I've got carpet. Maybe not if you have a hardwood. Maybe not if you have rough knees. In whichever the case, I want to give it a shot. 3, 2, 1, and we're here. Throwing punches. Oh, that's more stable for me. I can throw some real fast punches now. Oh, couldn't even see it there for a second with the bit rate. Oh, I'm tired now. That was a mistake. Progress is weaving and waning. This is set number 3. We'll switch it up on the second round. Time. Always make sure you can hold a conversation, all right? Always make sure you can hold a conversation. If you're too out of breath, we're getting into carbohydrate burn mode. That's not what we're looking for, right? Sustainable fat burn exercise. That's the name of the game. Gains, losses, whichever. Squats starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go, happy face. Happy face and co. And familia. If you really want to feel it, go nice and slow on the way down. And stand back up. I really like this because it allows you to experience the squat, really bring awareness to it, and time. After squats, we have our famed push-ups. I'm doing push-ups from the floor. Happy face, I think it's just you and me right now. Do whichever one feels good for you. OG, you can do whatever you want these days. Just happy that you're here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. Keep the core tight. I don't generally like to bring attention to things that have hurt and gotten better, but I hope the wrists are doing well. Happy face. Again, intensity you can do for the full time or drop to your knees. Lower the intensity if you can't maintain it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And time. Next up, we have our floor slides or shoulder extensions. Again, floor slides, you're here. You grab the floor in front of you. You can even be pretty close to your side and drag yourself across the floor. That'll work your lats. If not, we're doing shoulder extensions together in 3, 2, 1. Ready, begin. Push back, quick forward, back. We already do this for the eyes, Y's, and T's, the overhead, so you don't need to emphasize it. I would emphasize the back portion. Just thinking about flexing the muscles at the top. Again, we don't use any equipment, so if you get a little extra contraction, it's not the end of the world. 3, 2, 1, and time. Last one, mountain climbers. Mountain climbers from the wall, maybe mountain climbers from the couch, regular marching, or a regular old mountain climber. Starting in 3, 2, 1, ready, begin. We're here. Again, you can mediate the pace. Faster you go, the harder it gets. 10 more seconds. Keep working. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. If you've got a dip, now's your cool down. Cool down. Shake out the arms. Shake out the legs. Nose breathe. Warm up. Well, you've probably tuned in before to see the warm up. But again, this. Completed. Nice. There's round 1. This is our little built-in intermission. A chance to, wow, that's contagious. A chance to catch your breath if you need. If you went a little bit too hard on the last set, like you're not supposed to, even if instructors tell you not to do that exact thing. Quote of the day today. A little bit of motivational Wednesday for you. As people are warming up, cooling down, lurking, and joining. It's from Theodore Roosevelt. Believe that you can, and you're halfway there. Oh, Theodore. That is good. I think that ties in a lot to what we said in the past. We have a nice little bit at the end, too, that's adjacent to that. It involves mindset, self-expression, attitude. All right, basically the way you frame things. I know attitude as a term has a negative connotation. We're going to talk about framing and a nice, fun little challenge, a way to remember it for the next 48 hours. All right. We're not doing a full week. We're just doing a couple days. Again, talking about chunking out things one at a time. So I've got a little challenge for y'all at the end that I hope that you can partake in. And that is it for the day. Believe that you can, and you're halfway there, Theodore Roosevelt. We'll give a couple more seconds for people to come in and leave, catch your breath. I've about caught mine. It was hard to catch a gas, but I did. I've had better jokes than that. Again, this is day 29, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, comments that might lead to beautiful discoveries, like putting the routine at the end, at the bottom of the page, feel free to shoot them into the chat. I would like nothing more than to see your questions, engage with your comments, or answer questions at connectedchs30@gmail.com. I really like that you've been including jokes, happy face. That makes me very happy. The squatting one, I did tell my friends it was great. What type of exercise do unicorns like to do? Long distance running and marathons. Where do you find these? I tried looking up these for like 12 hours one day, and they were all lame. I don't know if you're coming up with these on the fly, but again, that's good. What type of exercise do unicorns like to do? Long distance running and marathons. All right, if you're just joining us, go ahead, finish on Google search. I Googled it too. What the heck? I need to work in my my search engine optimization, my searching, I guess. Yeah. If you're just joining, feel free to get a little warm up. Hit what feels good for you. The first couple sets, the first set, you can also take it a little easy as we hop into it, and that can act as the warm up, especially if this is your first session that you've attended. One session today is equivalent of week 2 when we first started. All right, because this is a progressive program, it gets harder and harder. The playlist on YouTube goes from day 1 through, but today, again, is equivalent to a single session, is equivalent to the entirety of a week 2 session. So if you need to, go back to there. If not, welcome. We're about to start round number 2. We've already done 3 sets, 3 more in the works. The first exercise completed, okay. Exit out of the ad. Excuse me. Either a floor touch or a glute bridge, starting in 5 seconds. Find your positions. 3, 2, 1. Begin. Push the butt back, touch the floor, stand up. Push the butt back, stand up. Yeah. Just doing some casual exercise together. It's just a part of our lives. It's what I do on Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings. What are we trying to do? Why are we doing this for free? Because health and fitness should be more accessible than it is. And we are doers instead of sayers. And time. Fantastic. And we're into it. We're into the thick of it. Next up, set exercise number 2 is our I's, Y's, and T's. Forearms on the thighs for a nice, stable position. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. We're here, and we're here. Arms overhead, reach. Arms out to 45 degrees, reach. Arms out to 90, reach. If you don't have time to stay for the full exercise and you're just checking out what we're all about, we give free instructional exercise training. Feel free to follow us or subscribe depending on the platform that you are on to get updates about when we go live. It's 3 times a week, 3 times a day for the time being. Really making this workout adjustable for absolutely anybody. 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, and we're back. Next up, we have Flappy Birds. I'm never going to be like a traditional gym bro. Only when I'm lifting heavy weights do I get like that. For now, instead of being lateral raises targeting our intermediate delts, we're just going to say Flappy Birds. No need. Ready? Begin. We're flapping like a bird. Wow. It's like when you're trying to go into stocks and people are like, you need to do an iron condor of a long put sell. That way you can get the best premium for the strike price. It's like, that's not a language. You're saying that to make sure that nobody else can understand what you're saying, you lawyer. We're trying to eliminate the gatekeeping from exercise. Thus, the inclusion of Flappy Birds. We try and keep it simple here, folks. 3, 2, 1, and time. Simple explanation from a really complex back-end design. Just because I know about mitochondrial biogenesis doesn't mean you need to say it in my program below. Crazy revolutionary thought. Next up, I'm on a tangent today. Next up, we have some punches. Again, we're just throwing some punches. Go ahead and stand up or kneel. Throwing doubles. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ready, begin. 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep the fists high in between. Try and put some energy into it so you get to stabilize your core. Rotate. And we're back to singles. 1, 1, 1. Swing, swing, swing. And we're done. Next exercise. I'm out of water. Dang, I have to get some more here in a second. Next exercise, squats. You know the deal. 3, 2, 1, begin. Quarter squats if you need. Half squats if you like. Full squats if you're able. Jump squats if you're crazy. Again, at no point during this exercise session should you feel pain. You know what pain is for your body. Things are uncomfortable. Good. From slight distress, we adapt. From too much stress, we break. Do not break. If you experience pain, find an alternative exercise and time. Pick a different variation from what we're doing if you experience pain. Or let me know. I might be able to hit you up with a new variation. Push-ups from the wall, from the floor, or from my old friend couch house, starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. The closer together your hands are, the more tricep and anterior delt you're going to be getting. The wider your hands are, the more pec major you're getting. The incline, just change it a little bit because of our relationship to gravity, but not enough that I'll talk about it. And time with that exercise. Whew, we are working our way through set number 1. Getting some nice exercise. Always sets me up nice for a solid day ahead. Level 1 squats, level 2 jump squats, level 3 180 jump squats. Believe it or not, that's my favorite. Oh, we're already on shoulder extensions. 3, 2, 1, begin. Shoulder extensions or floor slides. I'm gonna do shoulder extensions while I talk. The 180 jump squat is my favorite athlete ACL prevention inclusion technique. Basically, I throw this in to make sure that when people do experience a torsional force, they don't pop an ACL. I love a 180 jump squat. I think it's a little advanced for our target population, but if you want to do them, more power to you. That's impressive. Just don't get hurt, all right? And time with those. Lastly, we have mountain climbers. We have either marching. You can do them from the wall, or you have a full mountain climber from the floor, gauging the pace based off what feels good for you. Starting in 3, 2, 1, ready, begin. We're here, we're here. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. Happy face. Before we do 180s, I'm going to include a split squat. Get us lunging. Yeah. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Nah, I don't jump. I just wanted to flex. I feel like you're taking after me now. That's some stuff that I would say. I don't jump. I don't run, but let's that 5K this morning. Hey, we're back to the top already. We're back to the top. That means we have our floor touches or glute bridges. Set number 5. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Ready, begin. If you're floor touching, you touch the floor. If you're glute bridging, you're copying me, doing a hip lift, pushing the hips up to the sky, rotating the hips up underneath you as you do it. Hands by the side if you need. This always reminds me of my Brussels sprout comment. Seth, why do you do glute bridges? Because I don't like Brussels sprouts. I prefer spinach. This is my spinach. I prefer to do those over eating Brussels sprouts. All right. Do what you think is sustainable. Exercise shouldn't be intolerable. I want my glutes to be whack huge. All right. Big boot energy right here for butt exercises. Next up, eyes, Y's, and T's. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Begin. Forearms on the thighs. Reach out in front. 45-degree angle to the sides. Out to the sides at 90. Here, here, and here. Aside from working our back muscles, this will undo some of the effects of sitting. I know I sit too much during the day. And this is starting to work those back muscles and pull my shoulders back. And time. Whew. Feeling it today, Mr. Krabs. Feeling it today. It was the cheesecake yesterday, my favorite dessert, and my personal bane to my existence. Anyway, we all have our muse. Next up, we're going for Flappy Birds, starting in 3, 2, 1. Ready, begin. Just doing some Flappy Birds together. Per usual, feel free, give us a follow. Treat every notification that we are live as a reminder to live healthfully. All right. If you see that CCHS is live, say, what would Seth want me to do healthily from now? All right, that's just a reminder that I am towards your goals. All right. Time for the Flappy Birds. Next up, next exercise is punches. I'm staying kneeling. From the kneeling position, I feel it more in my core, less stabilizing with my legs. So I'm going for it from the knees. Feel free to stay standing while you throw some punches with me. In 3, 2, 1. Begin. Jab, 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 jab. Here's the old 1, 2. Hit him in the kisser. I think the progression, if I'm not mistaken, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jab, jab, hook, hook, uppercut, uppercut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Based on the numbers of boxing, I've been wrong many of times before. Put some effort into it. 3, 2, 1, and time. Squats again. Here we go. I saw a snapping turtle crossing the road yesterday. I don't know why I just thought of that. The thing was like, normal turtle, people might hit it. I was afraid to hit this thing. I think it might bite back. Squats in 3, 2, 1. Ready, begin. I have surprisingly little exercise jokes from my personal experiences, but my Boy Scout camp jokes, thriving. Got this one joke about a mosquito. Oh, you'd love it. Keep it going. 10 seconds. You can put your hands on the hips if you like. Don't put your hands in between your hips and your thighs. And time. Now for the squats. We can do a variation of the push-up. Again, so that everybody can do it, we have variations from the wall. Where you go through the full range of motion, just as you're getting used to doing push-ups again. If you want something a little different, go from the couch, or my personal favorite is from the knees, from the floor. Starting push-ups in 3, 2, keep the core tight, begin. Pushing up, pushing up. What are we doing? We're pushing up. There's the floor, push off the floor. Push off the wall, push off whichever surface. Ten more seconds, keep working. And time. Whew. I'm sweating today. It is humid in upstate New York. Humid. With the AC on all night. Not cool. Wasting energy. Ugh. And we are burning energy ourselves. Next up, floor slides or shoulder extensions. Join me. 3, 2, 1. Begin. Arms back. Arms overhead. Feel free to do these one arm at a time if you need. That way you can, again, be in the stable bent over position. All right. We're here. And I'm going double. Really emphasizing the end ranges of motion. And time. I like the floor slides where you're pulling yourself across the floor, army crawl style. I like those because it's a little more resistance. Works your lats a little better if you don't have a lat pull down or pull up machine or bar. Fantastico. After our floor slides, we have mountain climbers. Mountain climbers can be from the floor. I'm doing the marching variation right now to show that you can. Ready, begin. You can be doing these. You can be in the tall plank position on the floor, doing this exact motion. Or you can be leaning onto the wall or the couch behind me and doing this exact thing. All right? We're just moving, working our entire body, building a little bit of muscle, burning a bit of fat as the primary substrate. Time. Woo! And that is the end of set number 5. We're on to our last set, baby. Let me get a woo! Next up, 10 seconds before we get a 15-second break. Why do hamburgers go to the gym? To get better buns. Oh, man, I need to come prepared next time. We're starting in 15 seconds. Get better buns. Getting some water. Floor touches or glute bridge. I'm back. 3, 2, 1. Begin. Why did hamburgers go to the gym? To get better buns. That's hilarious. Happy face. If you want to be our joke person, just bring a joke a day. Oh, that'd be awesome. I was going to do that, but we opted for the quotes and the tidbits. 3, 2, 1, and time. We love to see some sweat, don't we? Holy moly. Burning off the cheesecake, honestly. That's not a good mindset. That's not a good way to frame that. Disregard what I said there. Eyes, Y's, T's. Bend over position. Starting. Now, ready, begin. Reach in front. Reach out to the 45. Reach out to the side. We're here. Work the top range of motion. You're going to feel some imaginary resistance. You're saying, why don't my arms go farther than that? Your body's going to say, because you have other muscles in the front preventing you, which means those are your resistances at that range of motion. Your arms, if you're like me, if you're super dense, might also be a little bit of added resistance. 3, 2, 1, and time. Yeah. I keep yawning. I don't know why. Next up, we have our Flappy Birds. All right, Flappy Birds. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Ready. Begin. We're just raising our arms from the side to our thighs, back up. Repeat the process. This is set number 6. We are cruising through set number 6. I like to keep the hands right at the side. Really works the arms on the last set. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ha! Okay, I'm better. Just had to express that really quick. All right. Next up, after lateral raises, what do you have? You know what's coming. Next up, we have our punches. I'm doing it standing this time, standing or kneeling. I'm throwing some big jabs, some 3-4s, starting in 3, 2, 1. Ready? Begin. Hook punch, hook punch. We're throwing big swingers here. Boom, 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 boom. Like you see in bar fights when people leave themselves way exposed for a jab. Anyway, keep your core tight. Really just trying to increase the moment arm. We're trying to get away from our center of gravity, our center of mass, to force more core engagement. We're just swinging. We have no regard for form and time. Form who? After punches, we have our squats. After punches, we have our squats. Now remember, squats are always from the traditional wide stance position. And now we begin our squats in 5, 4, just kidding, ready, begin. And we're squatting. Someone out there is going to watch that and try and go into a wide stance position like that and absolutely blow out their groin. So please, if you're currently rolling on the floor in pain, I'm so sorry. You know that you could tell that would be unreasonable for us to do, right? Take some NSAIDs. As long as you didn't completely pull the muscle, it'll get better. Eat some protein, sleep well, and time. Yeah, sleeping well, eating protein, getting some collagen is always good, actually, if you ever start to get some extreme muscle soreness. If that's the case, make sure you're basically recovering, eating enough high-quality food. Next up, after squats, we find a wall, find a floor, starting in 3, 2, 1. Ready, begin. Keep the core tight. This is the last set. Going hard in the paint. On my way to doing 100 push-ups. I think that fellow said in the chat the other day. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that was our last set of push-ups for the day. Which leaves us with our floor slides and mountain climbers. Floor slides from the floor if you prefer that activity. If not, feel free to do the shoulder extensions. I'm going to try and slide on this one. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. Ready, begin. It's like Into the Gray, or Gray maybe, whatever that movie was with Liam Neeson. Walk it back. Again, this is better on a tile or hardwood or smooth wood floor. And time. That way you get a little bit less friction because the carpet definitely provides some friction Tile is better, especially if you're sweaty. It'll help you slide a lot. We're over an hour, and we're going into our last exercise, the mountain climber. I'm already on the floor. I'm going from the floor. You can do it standing on the wall or full position. 3, 2, 1. Ready? Hand up and begin. Just so you know, we're having an extra 30 seconds of standing marching. We're going for a full minute. Bonus round. Keep it going. Keep the core tight. Stand up to marching if you aren't already. And keep marching. If you want to go high knees, you absolutely may. Maybe you want to go high knees but don't feel comfortable on the floor. That's for you. Keep working. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Activity completed.
And with that, we're going to take a second. Nose breathe. All right. Breathing primarily through your nose slows your heart rate. Increases recovery. Specifically releases nitric oxides, which are vasodilators, which, if there's a larger pipe, water flows through it more slowly. Again, if your arteries dilate from that, blood flows through it a little more slowly, slowing your heart rate, which we perceive as being good for recovery. Whether that's the case or not, who knows, but I think it is. That's what science says, so. All right, do some arms. We're gonna shake them out. And I have my little tidbit of goodness coming up in just a second. All right, we're gonna take 30 seconds. And you guys by yourselves while I go grab my materials that I wanna share with you. Just do some leg shakes, do some leg pumps. Go ahead, carry on with that for about the next 30 seconds. Carry on, soldier. All right, and you may say, Seth, why didn't you have this stuff prepared beforehand? And I'll say, I don't know. I'm still new at this. So what we're going to do is a nice little tip. That is truly mindset and how we frame things. So number one, we have coping, expression, and personally, when I have a hard time with something, for example, this past semester when I was taking all those credits and preparing for the MCAT, I was very stressed out, right? You don't leave a lot of time for health sometimes when life gets crazy. Now, if we can just try and avoid those situations, but sometimes you can't help that, right? Which leads us to proper expressions and coping mechanisms when that does happen. Or sometimes those periods of stress leave bad habits. They carry through. So now we're going to try and start to break down those bad habits if you're not still in that period of stress, if you can't remove yourself from that stressor, from maybe that work environment, from that relationship, whatever applies to your life. All right. So just saying, hey, get a better attitude doesn't work, right? You need to bring, as I always say, things start with awareness and mindfulness. And this is an exercise for the next 24 to 48 hours to help you cultivate that sense of mindfulness and awareness. Now, likely if you're watching this, you are working towards your health already, and you've probably got an all right positive framing on the world. But if not, this is a fun little exercise that I'm going to try today as well. I'm going to be using my little bracelet from Cortland, Red Dragon Strong. You can use a bracelet if you have one, or some spare change that you might have laying around the house. And what you do, specifically, this one is for complaining. All right. And if you have to ask if that was complaining or not, just assume that it was. All right. And every single time you give yourself a complaint during the day saying, ugh, it feels terrible and humid outside. Today's a terrible day. You're going to take a nickel or a quarter. You're either going to put it in one pocket or transfer it from one pocket to the other. All right. You can do this in whichever way feels cool for you. Maybe you have a bunch of nickels. You can pump in multiple nickels into a pocket. Maybe if you're not home, you can have a single nickel that you transfer from pocket to the other pocket. Or if you don't have anything, you can just use a bracelet like myself and say, I'm going to make myself some food and I make eggs and I say, wow, these eggs are terrible. What you do as a complaint, you switch it to the other wrist and you force yourself to say one nice thing that you're grateful for. All right. So, man, these eggs are terrible, but at least I have a nice protein dense meal here that's going to help me stay strong and fit and healthy and muscular. All right. Very well. So that's how that works. That is that challenge. We block things out in manageable times. You don't have to go for a full week with this challenge. All right. Just do it for one day. Try it for one day. See how you like it. If you think it's the most annoying thing that you've ever experienced in the entire world, then switch wrists because that's a complaint and say something you're grateful for. If not, you don't have to do it ever again. But I think this is something that I'm going to try it myself today. We can do it together. Give myself a little feedback to see if you like it moving forward. All right. Aside from that, basically the other message I have for you around coping, attitude, expression is when things get stressful. Oh, no, don't worry about that. You're doing great, happy face. Carry on. That's just Nightbot. You set up a spamming guy to make sure nobody spams. You're fine. Please carry on. I don't know how to stop that. I will talk with my buddy Blake. So anyway, carrying on, if you go through periods of high stress, basically you want to have a plan during your mental preparation that we say set reminders for in the morning or whenever it's good for your schedule. You say, okay, if this happens, if this stressor occurs, and I feel the urge to go down a pint of ice cream or an entire cheesecake, I don't know who does that sometimes, but you have a plan to prepare for that and say, what I'm going to do instead is treat myself to some really nutritious and well-prepared food. Okay. Maybe you have the meal prep like you've talked about. Maybe you've got a specific protein bar that tastes absolutely delicious and sugary. It's kind of like a candy bar really, but it's actually really good for you as a protein bar. I love either of those options. So instead of saying, hey, I'm going to grab McDonald's, I'm going to say, hey, when I get home, I'm treating myself to a tall glass of milk and one of those protein bars. All right. But taking the time to become mindful of that, planning for if that happens, you take those steps. All right. That's kind of long, kind of drawn out. I hope the point got across with you today. Now, happy face, we can talk about what you're putting into the chat. By the way, give me an update on how you like the bracelet or nickel thing tomorrow, next session, next stream on Friday. All right. First milestone, day 39, 13 weeks, quarter of the way done. Day 78, halfway. Day 117, day 156, 52 weeks. So you'd think, happy face, that would be the case. However, we actually have a lot more days than that in our program because at the end of this session, we move to 4 days a week for 30-minute sessions. All right. So part of us increasing the duration is also increasing the frequency. We start with duration to impact the minimal amount of days. We go 3 days a week. And then we bring back the volume a little bit to 30 minutes, but go 4 days a week. All right. So eventually by the time we're done, we're going 5-6 times a week, just quick, 30 minutes. Maybe we work our way. Ooh, yeah. Okay. By the time we're done, between increasing the frequency and increasing the volume, hopefully it's such a slow progression you don't even notice. One day you just wake up and you're exercising for 400 minutes a week and you're a super fit aerobic athlete, right? I mean, over the course of a year, that kind of change is something that is kind of reasonable, right? That's when we start to get into that kind of range. And that's the way this program is designed exactly for that reason. But yeah, so the frequency picks up and then we increase the duration, drop the duration back down, increase the frequency again, and carry on. All right. However, I like to look at things in terms of time. So we can say that week 12, 24, 36, 52 are huge milestones. And when we get to week 12, the end of week 12, Friday, week 12, we'll definitely have a special little episode. Maybe do something a little special for those of us that have been with us since day one, kind of thing. All right. Very well. With that said, grab yourself a bracelet, grab yourself a nickel. Let me know how the attitude challenge goes. If you complain, switch wrists, switch pockets, say something that you're grateful for. It should be a great way to make your day more positive, bring gratitude into your life, prepare yourself a coping plan for expression. And until that, I will see you all on Friday at 7:30 a.m. Feel free to follow me. Feel free to follow Jake Carroll, Adam Fox. Thank you as always for showing up, happy face. It means a lot to me. Whoever else is watching, thank you. Shout out. I'll see you Friday at 7:30 a.m. Hit us with the follow, tell your friends, and have a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. How do I end this? We're almost there. Computer's running slow. We're almost outie. Where's the exit button? We're lagging. And end the stream. Have a great day, everyone.